Good morning. My name is Robin Bartshire, and I'm here to talk today about a criminal who has tried to alter his fingertips to try not to get caught. I've submitted another document so you can follow along with the pictures I will be referring to as I speak. There are three different main types of fingerprints: loops, swirls, and arches. The first picture I have shows the three different types. To fully identify a person's fingertip, there must be at least 40 identified special spots like deltas, islands, bifurcations, crossovers, and more. Some background information on changing fingertips. Criminals altering their fingertips is not new, but their methods have changed. In the 1930s, the infamous bank robber John Dillinger, who we have learned about in our previous unit, poured acid into his cuts in his fingertips in an attempt to erase them. He was eventually shot and killed by Chicago police in 1934. Alvin Francis Karpis was a Canadian-born gangster during the Depression era. He was born in Montreal, Canada, but his parents were immigrants from Lithuania. He was nicknamed Creepy for his sinister smile and Ray by his gangmates. He was the leader of the Barker Karpis gang. Karpis started crime about age 10. The crimes started when his family moved to Kansas. His first crimes were running around as gamblers, bootleggers, and pimps, and being their rookies. In 1926, he was arrested and sent to 10 years at a reformatory. He escaped with another inmate, Lawrence Devall. In 1930, he formed his gang. They are really an atrocious gang. They did not hesitate to kill anyone who got in their way, even innocent bystanders. They robbed a number of banks, hijacked mail deliveries, and soon turned to the lucrative field of kidnapping. In 1933, they kidnapped William Ham, a millionaire Minnesota brewer. His ransom was $100,000. The group was led by Alvin, who had a photographic memory and was described as super smart by fellow gang member Fred Hunter. The other leaders were Doc and Fred, but both now were out of prison, and the gang included about 25 others. I included a couple pictures of some other gang members. The kidnaps would eventually lead to the end of their gang. The gang split up after the Bremer kidnapping and began crisscrossing the country, with some even fleeing to Cuba. They went as far to go as plastic surgeries to conceal their fingertips and identities, including Alvin Karpis. He tried to use acid to burn off his fingertips. The next pictures I show his fingertips before on record and then after, holding them up to the camera showing the damage he'd done to them. I couldn't make out his types of fingerprints from the pictures I found. Alvin Karpis was captured on May 1st, 1936 in New Orleans with Director Hoover, one of his arch enemies of the police force, and personally taking part in the arrest. Within hours, Hoover was escorting Karpis back to St. Paul, where he eventually pled guilty to the Ham and Bremer kidnapping and was sentenced to life in prison. After staying in Alcatraz and other prisons, Karpis was paroled in the late 1960s. His capture led to the end of Depression-era gang and criminals, and soon after, police force increased and improved. He was one of the only gang members of that time that was captured alive, and after him, most of the other gangsters were captured alive, ending the era, unlike John Dillinger, who was shot dead when he was captured. Thank you.